Hi there, I'm Matt from the Underground Cookery School. Today I'm just going to show you a really simple, easy recipe. Hello, a lot of people want to know how to make a banana cake and I'm going to show you how. Now this one's slightly different because it's in 3 parts, and the first part we're actually going to make the cake mix. The second part, and here's the different bit, quirky bit, we're going to whisk up some egg whites with a bit of sugar, and we're going to fold those into the cake mix, which is a slightly unconventional way of making a cake. The third one is we're going to make a lovely icing to go over the top, which we'll do at the very end. So, part 1. The first thing we're going to do is take some diced butter and some sugar, and that goes straight in there. I'm just going to give that a good old whisk for the next half a minute. And whilst I'm doing that, I've got the main ingredient, which is a banana, and I'm just going to mash that up just to help it on its way whilst the butter and sugar are mixing in. Now I'm just going to throw these in whilst that's mixing. The softer the butter, I think the better your mix is going to be, and I'll readily admit that the butter there was still slightly hard, but what's going to smooth things out is when we start adding the moisture. So the first part of that is going to be egg yolks, so they go in. I've also got some sour cream, so that's going to go in. I've got some vanilla essence, pop that in, a pinch of salt. I've got my poppy seeds here, so they're going to go in. And I'm just going to give that a bit of an extra whisk. Now, I'm a bit funny about just plonking flour into the food processor, so I'm going to do it quite slowly. We'll do the first couple together. And then I'll start adding most of this as I go along until I get a nice sort of dripping batter consistency. Don't worry too much about that, because when it's ready I'm going to show you. But in the meantime I'm just going to slowly start adding large tablespoonfuls of just plain flour. Right, well, all those ingredients have been incorporated, and we've got, as you can see, I mean, it's stuck to the whisk, which is no mean feat. But that is what you're looking for. That's the batter. Well, I've put all the batter, which is it's stiff, and I've put all of that into a bowl, so you can just get an idea of the texture. And we now really need to loosen it up. So the way we're going to do that is I've got some egg whites here, and I'm just going to pour those into the bowl. Obviously, same rule applies as before, which is you can use a hand whisk, which is much cheaper. Anyway, when you come back, these whites will be completely stiffened. We will have added a little bit of the sugar to it, and we'll start folding it into the cake mix. Right, well, those egg whites have peaked beautifully, and in fact, there's no better way of actually looking at the texture than if I just dollop that in. If you notice, they've got a nice gloss to them, and that's really as a result of adding caster sugar, which I was doing during the mixing process. My advice is, when you do mix egg whites, as soon as they start to come together and fluff up, that's when you add the sugar. I wouldn't do it beforehand. Right, we've got our cake mix in here. The first job is just to mix in a large teaspoon, just to loosen up the cake mixture. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to spend the next couple of minutes folding in those whites. So again, when you come back, you'll see me with a nice lighter cake mixture. Right, those egg whites have really helped loosen up the mixture. You can see it's a nice sort of dripping consistency. That's exactly what you want. We've got our prep tin now, so I'm just going to tip the contents of this straight into the tin. You don't have to worry too much about evenly dispersing it, because once it starts to sort of bake in the oven, it will form a lovely, flat, smooth base and cake. So this in effect is the second part complete, and what we'll do, just as we're taking the banana cake out the oven, is we'll make the icing and then just sort of tip it on top and then let it rest for a few minutes. But that's effectively the most fantastic banana cake recipe. So this is going to go into the oven now at about 160 degrees, and we're going to leave it in there for about 20-25 minutes, something like that. In it goes. See you in a minute. So we're going to do the icing because it's pretty much ready now. I'm just zesting, which means grating a bit of peel off of a lemon. That's going to go into the bowl, or a bowl. I'm just going to get a bit of icing sugar, add that, and then I've got some lemon juice here, and we're looking for wallpaper paste consistency. So I'm just going to keep mixing until I get that. I never was a particularly good artexer, which is why I became a chef, but we'll see where we are. Just going to keep going. Right, well that's perfect, I'm happy with that. I'm going to take the cake out of the oven. There we go, beautiful. I'm just going to spoon that, look at that, all over the cake. And that, ladies and gentlemen, and friends, is how you make a banana cake.